Hi, welcome to the Shelley Studio. Today I'm working on my Scavenger Hunt book, and the prompt I'm doing is rubber stamp. I know that's not a red rubber stamp, but I'm counting it as a rubber stamp because that's what I have, and I wanted to do a butterfly. So I wet the stamp, just misted it with water, and then I'm using my Dina Wakley color sticks, I think is what she calls them. To try and stamp kind of a watercolory looking butterfly. Yeah. So the first one was a bit light. I think most of these are a bit light. I should have gone for my nail color twos. I think they're a bit bolder. Yeah, I'm using the lighter color because I wanted to do a lighter sort of page, I guess. Now, I did those, and then I have some tissue paper there, and it's just regular gift tissue, so it's the delicate stuff. And I'm going to stamp a few on there as well. That one was way too light. So I'm trying to put more pigment on there from the color sticks. I do mist it after I've colored on there to try and make sure it stays liquid. That one turned out pretty good. I think that's the one I end up... Well, maybe I used the one on paper. I can't remember. Maybe I collaged that one somewhere. So this one I did with a darker blue, and I'm not paying enough attention. I'm getting a lot of water built up on that acrylic block when I spray. I should be wiping that off because you'll see here I stamp this one and water drips, and it ends up getting that whole section wet, and then it bleeds because it's tissue, right? So yeah. All right, so I've got a few stamped out, and yeah, I do use the one on paper, and I have this colored paper from a previous Scavenger Hunt page, and I'm just gonna cut a circle. It doesn't quite fit without that little hole, but we'll just fake it. So I'm just gonna cut it out, and yeah, it doesn't end up being perfectly circled because I kind of trimmed down that side with the little notch out of it. But actually, if you look really closely, you can still see a bit of that notch in the finished project, but it's okay. That almost looks like the earth, doesn't it? So I think I'm going to go with that darker pink one, and I'm just using my Distress Oxides. I think it's a Distress Oxide. I will list the ingredients in the description box below. Everything I can identify that I used, I will put down there. I do have an Amazon affiliate link. If there's a link for it, I will put it. Just in case you're interested, no pressure. It does give me a few cents if something is purchased through that link, but yeah, it's just there in case. And also, if you wanted to see the product and then you'd know what it looks like, you can use that for that too. So I've got both things cut out, and I want to add a little something. So I have this material, and I think there's a prompt in the Scavenger Hunt that it says clothes. This was clothes. It was somebody's clothes. It was not my clothes. So I think that'll count. I'm going to have to do a flip through. So once I get all of my pages done, I will do a flip through and list all 100 prompts. So, and as I flip the pages, so you can see that I completed all 100 prompts, because that is the challenge, to get them all completed. And I think I've done repeats of several, but keep adding new ones. So I'm just going to glue this butterfly on top of that material and let it dry. And then sewing is also one of the prompts. So I am going to sew, needle and thread, a few X's onto this paper. And I'm using embroidery floss. I think they're like 3-ply, and I think I just use a single. And I'm just going to put an X in like 3 places just so that the sewing is on there. And instead of tying off each time, I'm just going across. It'll end up getting glued down, so nobody will ever know except for all of you that watch. And the needle keeps slipping out as I'm going. Yeah, just a few simple X's. Trying to keep everything kind of color coordinated, so the embroidery floss is a little green color. I don't have a lot of those. They were given to me by one of my friends from Facebook. I want to say Vicky, but I could be wrong. Gina B. Aarons and a bunch of people were doing slow stitching, and I think I completed one slow stitching thing. But I have been enjoying the thread and the material because I use it. It's not like I don't use it. I'm just not doing slow stitching. I mean, that was slow stitching. But that was 3 stitches. So how is everyone today? I know I ask that every time, but I want to know, how you doing? We're doing good here. The rain has kind of stopped for the most part, so, hopefully we're drying out. We've got to get somebody out here to replace the sheetrock. The roof is still pending. Yeah, so still stuff to do on that front. Of course, I am filming this probably weeks before you'll see it, so hopefully when this actually airs, the roof will be in progress and it'll all be happening. So the ones that I did on tissue paper, I decided to wet cut them, and I'm going to put them just in the background on that page. Just so it's not just one single butterfly, there's kind of a hint of butterfly. And I'm doing the ones that I use the darker blue on because they'll stand out more against the busy pattern. The really dark one will really stand out. The real faint one, you can see it in person, but I don't know if you can even tell on camera. I'm just deciding where they're all going to go. And I'm using Golden's matte medium to glue them down. And that will make the tissue paper, because this is just gift tissue, pretty much disappear. And doing the where I drew a line around them with the wet brush and separated them that way, that helps the edges of the tissue bleed into the background, so you don't have that harsh line, and so that helps it, the illusion of it being transparent. And it does make a difference. It really does. And then I just put a little bit of that matte medium around just so that the surface of the page all has the same matte feeling. Another one of the Scavenger Hunt prompts was to use tissue. So I've used tissue, plus I'm using this. This is, do they call it tissue? It's pattern tissue. Dress pattern? That was gifted to me as well a long time ago. From before I even started YouTube, I've had that one package of dress pattern tissue. Goes a long way, apparently. So I'm not going to bother to glue the tissue all the way to the edges, just because it might look a little gloppy that way, and this way works. So there's that one. I like that one. I think it turned out well. The second page I'm doing today, one of the prompts was swatch. That's that color swatch that has been floating around. That's from an old student watercolor palette that I sampled a long time ago and created a swatch thing for it. It's the watercolors I let my nephew use when he was little. So the paints I'm using are Koi watercolor. It's the Koi watercolor set. Yeah, I just thought I'd go kind of psychedelic. Is that what it is? Purple for the shadow area, and then blue for the not so shadowed area. And I didn't have a cup of water out, so I'm just using my water bottle. I do tend to do that a bit when I want to just grab a little watercolor, and I need clean water. I just grab one of my spray bottles, my little spray bottles. So it's a little difficult. You want to make sure you get your brush in there just right. It's just a little hole, but it's convenient when you don't want to run down the hall and go find water. Did I say this one? Well, swatch was one prompt, and then the other prompt is coloring book. So that's why I'm using this coloring book. And I just happen to have this Halloween coloring book. I had seen it on sale at Michael's before Halloween, and I grabbed it for kids that were hanging out at my house for Halloween. It had perforated pages, and they could color. And so this is one of the pages that was left. There's quite a few pages left, actually. Apparently I'm the only one that wants to color. No, a few people colored, but a few kids did. But yeah, I'm going to cut the cat out to get rid of the Halloween background. So it'll just be the cat and the fiddle. Put a little brown for the violin. I know there's a difference between a fiddle and a violin, and that looks like a violin. But I don't technically know the difference. I should look that up. Giving it a few finishing touches, making sure there's no blotchy spots. So I don't know how valid this is, but it says the only true physical distinction between a fiddle and a violin is the instrument setup, things like string choice. Yeah, it says there isn't a difference, at least not physically. Okay. Oh, see, it says a violin is tuned to perfect fifths. Fiddle players typically use all steel strings and rely on peg tuning as well as fine tuner. Their tuning depends on the music they're playing. Okay, well, there you go. No idea. All right, so I've got my gel pen out, hoping to put the white back in his eyes, add a few highlights, fix the gap between the bow and the strings of the bow. That's what it's called, right? A bow. All right, so the next part, another prompt was song lyrics, and I cover a lot of this up with the cat, so you can hear me typing. I'm looking up the lyrics. Let's see, we're children of the sky, flying up so high. Let me be that one to find the brightest sun. We are children of the sky, guided by the light. And yeah, so that's the chorus. So it's guided by the light. Let me reach new heights, stars amongst the night. Let's see, who... Oh, it's Imagine Dragons. So you can tell that I probably didn't even have the right rhythm with that song. So how much trouble would I be in if I played a little bit? Can you hear it? I'm playing it kind of low. Some days when I'm dreaming, I think of how far I've come. All my lives led to this, and now I see what I've become. I always had doubted that I could ever be someone. Probably gonna get a copyright strike on that one. You'll have to look it up. That sounds pretty good. Who knew? Anyways, I'm finishing this up, giving the cat somewhere to stand, and I hope you liked this video. All the information about the scavenger hunt will be in the description box below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.